This next segment is a segment I like to call the Picks of the Week. This is a segment where you guys get to pick something to recommend to the TWiP audience. It could be anything as long as it is somehow related to photography. Chris MacAskill, I'm going to let you go first, man. What is your pick of the week?
Oh, boy. I just can't get enough of Sigma lenses. I just love them. And they're tanks and they're heavy, and I shoot with a Nikon D850. I don't care that much about size. You know, I'm not mountaineering or anything. And besides, if you're full frame, the lenses don't really get smaller anyway. So Sigma, I heard rumors that Sigma was coming out with this 105 millimeter f1.4, and I love shallow depth of field. And then the rumor was confirmed, and now B&H Photo says my lens will ship in just a couple of weeks. So just
nice.
Nothing like a new lens showing up, is it? Yeah. I love it. Cool. All right.
It's like jewelry on my desk.
So this is the new Sigma Art 105 f1.4 lens, right?
Yeah, it's probably like carrying a 10-pound weight around, but I'm going to love it.
Hey, you'll get used to it. Well, cool. That was a good pick of the week. Thank you very much for that. Joseph Linaschke, what is your pick of the week?
Yes, sir. So Panasonic just released a series of updates for the GH5, GH5S, and G9, released actually this morning. Yep. And they are adding quite a few features as well as a significant autofocus improvement for the GH5, which is very, very welcome. And early tests are looking very, very good on it, which is exciting. But also just added a bunch of new features to it. And the great thing is it's all free. That's the killer part of it. You can download these firmware updates for free. It takes about a minute to install in your camera, and suddenly your camera is new again. Get a bunch of new features. And, yeah, 3 updates for 3 different cameras, G9, GH5, and GH5S.
Very cool. And plug yourself, man. You just did a live stream today that's online.
I did.
People can go.
I did know it, and that show is still uploading. It was so long, and I edited it a bunch and added a bunch of title cards to it. It's still uploading. It's crazy. But, yeah, I did a show this morning on my Photo Justice Photo Moment show. There was a complete deep dive through every new feature in there. The end result is about 45 minutes long, so it's going to be one of those long videos that people will complain about. But I did put timestamps in the beginning, so if you just want to learn how this one particular feature works or what this one update does, you'll be able to jump to it. So that'll be on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PhotoJoseph, sometime this evening.
Very cool. Or tomorrow morning, probably more like it. Yeah.
We'll see.
Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. And Aaron Nace, last but not least, what is your pick of the week, man?
My pick of the week is, so Adobe just announced a update to Adobe Camera Raw, which for those of you guys who don't know, Adobe Camera Raw is the software it's inside of Lightroom, it's inside of Bridge, and it's inside of Photoshop. And it's basically how Adobe processes raw photos. So if you're using Lightroom, it's using Adobe Camera Raw. In Photoshop, it's Adobe Camera Raw as well. So they just announced an update pretty recently, which gives you the ability to add range masking to any local adjustment. It's super technical coming out of my mouth, obviously, but basically what you can do now is, let's say you wanted to edit the color of a sky. So you can take one of those adjustment brushes and just paint over the sky, and then you can click on a target color. So you can actually choose the blue and say only affect this blue, and now you can adjust like the saturation and the luminance of just the blue that you want in the sky. Or if someone's wearing a red dress, you can just paint over the center of the photo, target that red color, and adjust only that red color in the area that you paint. You can also adjust for luminance values, so light and dark, which is really, really huge. So let's say you want to do dodging and burning, for instance. Now you can dodge and burn within Camera Raw and restrict your dodging and burning to just highlights and shadows, which just adds like a huge level of basically of control through dodging and burning. And I found that with that level of control, you can get much more realistic results. So we just released an update on it on Flurn.com as a part of our Master Adobe Camera Raw tutorial. It's a huge update. I know it's one of those like weird hidden features, but once you kind of like see the possibilities of range masking, it honestly makes both Lightroom and Adobe Camera Raw quite a bit more powerful. So I'm excited about that update, and for anyone who hasn't checked it out, it's available in your adjustment brush, in your radial filter, and in your graduated filter. Just scroll all the way to the bottom of those menus, click on that range mask, option and just play around with it, because it really just expands the capability of those programs so much. And I'm really excited to be editing my raw files and to be able to choose color ranges or luminosity ranges to edit, because it really does make a big difference.
That is really cool. I think that feature is I'm not sure what the Adobe implementation of it is, but I know something similar to that is in Capture One, where you can select ranges and specifically target color ranges. I don't know how deep they go, and which one is better than the other, if at all. But yeah, that sounds like we've come a long way from just masks, right? just black and white gradient masks. We've come a long way from there. Well, cool guys. Thank you for those picks of the week. Those were excellent.